Dear students, I am Mahesh Javalkar of Marathamandal Polytechnic, who is releasing his 7th video on MCQs on semiconductor devices, objective type of questions on semiconductor devices. So let's continue with the questions. So next our question number will be question number 111. The minimum value of anode current below which it must fall to completely turn off the device is called as. So this question is in relation with SCR. Now we know the SCR will be on when the anode current is above the latching current. Okay, but there is one more current which is just below the latching current, specified as holding current. If your anode current goes below that holding current, then the device will turn off, SCR will turn off. So here in this case, the minimum value of anode current below which it must fall to completely turn off the SCR is called as holding current. That is, the answer will be A, holding current. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 112. The latching current is dash then the holding current. As I've told you, the latching current is the minimum forward current required for SCR to be in on state. Okay, but the holding current is the minimum forward current below which if the current goes, the SCR will go into off condition. Okay, that means latching current will be higher than the holding current. Then here the option will be B, higher. The latching current is higher than the holding current. Okay, then we'll go to the next question. Question number 113. The varactor diode is also known as, okay, varactor diode is also known as varicap or bulk diode or step recovery diode or auto electronic diode. Okay, now we know that a varactor diode works on a reverse bias operation, and that too on the depletion layer. That too, the width of the depletion layer will decide the capacitance, and as you increase or decrease the reverse bias voltage, the capacitance of the diode will increase or decrease. Okay, so it has the inverse relation between the reverse voltage and the capacitance. Therefore it is called as variable capacitor, varicap. So here the answer should be A, varicap. The varactor is also known as varicap. A varactor diode is also known as varicap. Okay, variable capacitor. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 114. The varactor is also known as, okay, so here he has given option A as voltage cap, varicap, tuning diode, and all the above. Okay, so option A, voltage cap, is also correct. Option B is also correct, and option C is also correct. Voltage cap because a reverse voltage is going to vary the capacitor. Varicap because capacitor is going to vary. Tuning diode because it is used for tuning of frequency. It is going to be used for an oscillator, tuning of frequency. So all the above answers are correct. So here the option will be D. So the varactor diode is also known as volt cap, varicap, tuning diode. Okay, all the above. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 115. The varactor is usually, now as I've told you earlier also, the varactor diode is usually reverse biased only, because in reverse bias only, as you increase the voltage, you can increase the depletion layer width, and if you increase the depletion layer width, the capacitance is going to decrease. Okay, so that is why it should be operated in reverse bias. So here the answer will be B, reverse bias. The varactor diode is usually reverse biased. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 116. The capacitance of varactor varies. Varies how? Like when you are going to apply a reverse voltage to the varactor diode, when the reverse voltage is increased, the depletion layer between P and junction will also increase. If the depletion width increases, then the capacitor decreases. That means the capacitance is inversely proportional to the reverse voltage. That means in this option, option A will be correct. The capacitance of a varactor diode varies inversely with reverse voltage. Okay, so it is always varying the inversely, because as the reverse voltage increases, the width of the depletion layer increases. If the width increases, the capacitance decreases. Okay, so it is having an inverse relation. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 117. Varactor diode are used in FM receivers to obtain. Okay, now they are used in FM receivers, but to obtain what? Noise control, frequency control, volume control, gain control. It is automatically frequency control. because we are going to use a variation of capacitance in an oscillator. If you vary a capacitance in an oscillator, it is automatically used for frequency control. So here it is answer A. Varactor diodes are used in FM receivers to obtain automatic frequency control, AFC. Okay. Then we'll go to see question number 118. The tunnel diode is also known as. So options are channel diode, high field diode, Esaki diode, and high frequency diode. So the option C, Esaki, because the person who has invented a tunnel diode, his name only is Esaki. So it is also called as Esaki diode. So the tunnel diode is also known as Esaki diode. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 119. The tunnel diode is mainly used for, okay, for very high speed switching or to control the power, for rectification or for fast chopping. So chopping is not there, rectification is not there, control of the power is not there. So it can be used for very high speed switching because it will be having a thin junction and it can have a higher frequency to work with. So it can be used for very high speed switching. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 120. From this figure, find the tunnel diode symbol. Okay, so if you see figure A is of LED, figure B is of Zener diode, figure C is of normal diode, figure D is of tunnel diode. If you see the figure D resembles to a tunnel diode. So here you can mark option figure D. Okay. Then we'll go to question number 121. The tunneling phenomena is also known as. Okay. Now what happens in a tunneling phenomena is the diode, PN junction diode, which we call as tunnel diode, is very heavily doped. It is 100 to 1000 times more doped heavily than a normal diode. Okay, that is why its junction is very thin, its depletion layer is very thin, and because it is very thin, the charge carriers just punch through the depletion. The charge carriers from both sides will punch, and that punching of charge carriers is called as tunneling. So tunneling, so it is a automatic electronic phenomena. So here the option B, that is automatic electronic phenomena, will be the correct answer. The tunneling phenomena is also known as auto electronic phenomena. Okay. Then we'll go to question number 122. The tunneling involves, okay, so options here are acceleration of electron in p side, movement of electrons from n side to the p side, charge distribution management in both the bands, positive slope characteristics of the diode. Okay, now if you see a tunneling means punching of charge carriers. Punching of charge carriers means the electrons from n side will go to the p side. Okay, and the holes on the p side will go to the n side. Okay, now here what is happening is electrons from the n side, in n side the electrons are in conduction band. Okay, once they go to the p side, they go into the valence band of the p side. Clear? So here the answer B, that is movement of electrons from n side conduction band to the p side valence band, is the right answer when you say about what is tunneling. It is just crossing over of charge carriers, which is called as punching of charge carriers. It is called as tunneling. Okay. Then question number 123. Tunnel diode has a very fast operation in which frequency range? A gamma frequency range, UV frequency range, microwave frequency range, or RF frequency range? So here the answer will be microwave frequency range. So it is used for microwave frequency range. So here I have given an explanation also. Tunnel diode is a type of semiconductor which works on tunneling effect of electrons. Tunneling effect means punching of electrons or electrons movement through the thin depletion layer. Okay, electrons in microwave region. In microwave region only, in that frequency region it is been used. So tunnel diode has a very fast operation in microwave region. So it is used in microwave frequency region. Okay. Then we'll go to question number 124. What happens to a tunnel diode when the reverse bias effect goes beyond the valley point? Now for this you have to remember the characteristics of tunnel diode which you plot of voltage and current. Okay. So it will first initially, as you increase the voltage, the current will increase and go to a peak point. Okay, and afterwards when you increase the voltage, the current will decrease for some time, and afterwards, after it reaches the valley point, that is the least point, then again if you increase the voltage, the current will linearly increase. It will behave as a normal diode. So here, what happens to a tunnel diode when the reverse bias effect goes beyond the valley point means after the valley point it behaves as a normal diode. So answer A will be the correct answer. So here I have also given the explanation. After the valley point is crossed, the tunnel diode obtains positive slope resistance. So according to Ohm's law, as the voltage increases, your current also increases. That is similar to characteristics of normal diode. So it behaves like a normal diode after the valley point. Okay. After that, we'll go to question number 125. The Gunn diode is, okay. Now the Gunn diode is a diode which does not have PN junction. It is not working on a junction characteristics. Okay, it is a bulk diode. It is a bulk diode. It will be having a heavily doped N type of region and a active lightly doped N type of region, and only electrons are going to flow, and you apply a voltage to it, it will produce a negative resistance region which can be used for oscillations. Okay, that means these are the diodes which can be used for higher power and for frequency that without PN junction. So these are the diodes which don't have PN junction. They are called as bulk effect device. Okay, so here the answer will be the Gunn diode is a bulk effect device. It is a bulk effect device type of diode. Okay, then we'll go to question number 126. The Gunn diode is used in the range. Okay, it is obviously more than 100 kilohertz. So the frequency also will increase, the power also will increase because it is not working on any junction concept. It does not have PN junction. So the answer here should be B, more than 100 kilohertz. So the Gunn diode is used in the range of more than 100 kilohertz. Then we'll go to the next question. The Gunn diode is also known as, so out of this option, if you see, option A is no barrier diode, option B is active area diode, option C is Isaki diode, and option D is bulk diode. Okay, so if you see the structure of a Gunn diode, it is having a heavily doped N type of region, and below that a lightly doped N type of region. That lightly doped N type of region will be called as active region. So this can be called as active area diode. Okay, so here the option will be B. The Gunn diode is also known as active area diode. Okay, then we'll go to the next one. Question number 128. The Gunn diode is most suited for. Okay, now as I've told you earlier, the Gunn diode, if for that a device, if you apply a voltage, it will produce a negative resistance region, and because of that negative resistance region, it can give you oscillations. Okay, now those oscillations can be used to build microwave oscillators. So here the option will be D, microwave oscillators. The Gunn diode is most suited for microwave oscillators. Okay, then we'll go to question number 129. A PIN diode consists of dashed number of semiconductor layers. So if you see the name PIN, P means P type of semiconductor, I means intrinsic pure type of semiconductor, and N means N type of extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, so PIN, so there are three semiconductor layers here. So out of this option A will be correct. A PIN diode consists of three number of semiconductor layers. Okay, then we'll go to the next question, question number 130. PIN diode is a photosensitive diode because of, okay, photosensitive diode because of what? Okay, now PIN means that I is there in between P and N type of material. That I is an intrinsic material which is helping you, which is aiding to increase the depletion layer. And when the depletion layer increases, it increases the surface area, and when the surface area increases, it can nicely become a photosensitive diode. Photosensitive means light can be sensed and can be converted into electrical quantity. Okay, so here option B will be correct. PIN diode is a photosensitive diode because of depletion layer increases, giving a larger surface area. Okay, so these were the some questions what I have taken on semiconductor devices in my 7th video now, and very soon I will be releasing my 8th video, so we can see the next concepts of semiconductor devices. Okay, thanks for watching. If you are having any doubt or anything, you can give me a call or you can send me a message. Okay, and see that you study the fundamentals of the subject very nicely. Your concepts of basics should be very clear so that your approach towards a logic which will which will be used for answering a objective type of question will be very clear. Okay. Thank you for watching.